Good morning. This is Nancy Mackey. I'm a certified strengths coach with Open Gate Consulting, and today I'm talking with Kirk Balin, who also happens to be my husband, but certified financial planner and going on a bike ride today. Good morning, Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. And so today we're talking about the top talent of achiever, which is Kirk's #1 talent, and on the CliftonStrengths34 Profile. And people high in the talent of achiever work really hard and possess a great deal of stamina, and they also take immense satisfaction in being busy and productive. And lastly, people with achiever also love to check things off their list and cross the finish line. So Kirk, does that sound like you a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How do you see achiever playing out in your typical day?
Well, today I'm going for a bike ride, and my brain says I'm going to burn close to 4,000 calories. I'm going to ride 110 miles, but it's getting kind of late. So, but that would be the ultimate goal. But if I'm striving for a goal, then I'm happy. If I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, I'm unhappy.
Love to hear that, and I second that. I see that in you a lot. How do you experience your achiever talent during your workday?
I'm a business owner, and survival is key. It's the main thing I focus on. But I've worked for a lot of different corporations too, but as a small business owner, survival is #1. That's the goal, because you can always, if you can live to be another day, have your business for a different type of business environment that you think you can do better, then that's always the goal I'm achieving. I'm usually not trying to focus on what's going on now, but if I can stay ahead of the economy and ahead of where things are going as a small business owner, then that will be success.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're always looking ahead. That's great. And do other people notice that talent in you?
Oh yeah, I've been pretty successful at everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
So Air Force pilot, supersonic Air Force pilot, multiple Wendy's owner, Wendy's fast food restaurants, state of Washington, owned a grocery distribution business, 13 and a half years of project management and managing large civil engineering projects as a civil engineer. And so I'm always trying to achieve goals.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you've done a lot for sure. How do you find your achiever helps you motivate others?
Yeah, that probably could be a negative, I think, because I've noticed that sometimes people around me are not achievers, and sometimes achievers can bruise other people, so I have to be very careful. My goal is to get my employees to work as a team, but then kind of tamp down my achiever thing, because the achiever thing and the team thing can be sometimes, if I'm the achiever, it kind of could rub them a little wrong. I'm a little type A too much. So
interesting.
Be careful.
Yeah. And so how have you managed to dial that back or to soften it a little bit? What strategies have you tried?
Trying to focus on how other people feel and not let that get in the way of me completing my goal, because if everybody is having a good time and feeling good and working as a team, then I'll achieve my goal, instead of me micromanaging everybody and trying to get them to feel like I do. So you have to go about it a different direction and realize different people have different talents, and it's pulling those different talents together that, as a business owner and a team leader, I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Well, and one thing we like to do with the Clifton Strengths sometimes is compare different talent themes, and there's two that are real similar. One is your #1, which is achiever, and a statement around achiever is I want to get it done. We've got another talent, which I believe is also in your top 10, might even be your top 5, which is called activator, which means I want to get it started. So let me know what you think of those, the difference between those two.
The achiever and the activator?
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's just instinct. If you don't start, you can't finish.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a kid, I was a swimmer, one of the top swimmers in the country up until junior high, and so ask me the question one more time again.
Just what is the difference for you between achiever and activator? I want to get it done
okay.
versus I want to get it started.
For me, I just think they're the same thing. I look at them as the same other people would look at them, because I, in my brain, envision that starting something is going to finish it. You have to start it before you finish it. So I'm a big starter, but then I got to realize that my starting activity could make other people feel uncomfortable. But I tend to do things a lot of times on my own.
Yeah.
And so that's a good environment for me. But when as a business owner, that's not a good thing, because I can't achieve my goals without my employees buying into my goal and stuff. But I tend to work a lot harder than everybody else. So from a leadership standpoint, I think that's good, because leaders have to do that, I personally believe, to a certain extent.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, one more question for you, Kirk, and then we'll let you get on that 100-mile bike ride. What encouragement do you have for other people whose top talent is achiever?
Just realize that everybody else might not have that same goal, and just try not to be like a bull in a china closet, right?
Yeah.
And just because one of our strengths can be one of our biggest weaknesses too.
Well said, and that is so true with the Clifton Strengths talent themes. We see that all the time, and we talk about that fact that sometimes our greatest talents can sometimes get in our way, but which is part of the knowledge of knowing about our strengths.
Yeah, and one more thing I'll tell you about what I want to mention about, you asked me a question about initiating, and I talked about swimming. But so when I was a kid, I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning and go swimming every day, from the first grade on to the ninth grade. And so if I didn't initiate getting out of bed, so if you don't, I think sports and everything helps out. I also did college sports, Pac-12 football. So I think initiating is just being disciplined, and then achieving then is just a matter of sticking with your plan and getting to that final goal. And for me, I just tend to it's an instinct, I suppose, because my mom brought me up being really busy, because I was a little hyperactive when I was in first grade. And so she just said, well, you're going to go swimming every day and we'll take care of this. And then I just keep doing the same. So that's really the achiever thing, I think, in me, is that competition.
Yeah.
And that my mom instilled with me. It started in the first grade with swimming, and then just everything I do, I always try to be the best.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I see that in you a lot, and it's definitely a talent. And thank you for spending time with us today. Thanks.
Yep.